What's happening, fellas? We are next to nature's finest mosquito repellent. It's mosquito season up here. We're outside the Tlingit Heritage Center. The Tlinkits are the indigenous people that have been here for literally thousands of years. And the Western culture, or Eastern civilization, the white man, if you want to call it, was not here until 1900. I want to put that in perspective. That was 120 years ago. No man from Western civilization had seen these three mountain peaks over here. And there's actually glaciers on top of there. Check it out on a map, Yukon, Teslin. Those mountain peaks are about 6,500 feet, which is literally a mile tall. And it's being a mountainous range. This lake, Teslin Lake, is almost 78 miles long. It's up to 700 feet deep, and it's fed by each one of these glaciers as they melt, feed streams and rivers that flow into here. The salmon are going to be, sorry for the shitty camera work, but the salmon are going to be spawning here soon up into the rivers. But there's some irony to us being here. The guy that we bought the tractor trailer from, Andre, my new friend Andre, I think he's a billionaire. He created, in a nutshell, the software that guides vehicles down the road to stay on the road. Something to do with optical. I don't really understand it, but he did really well in the computer industry. Made hundreds of millions of dollars, and he ended up here. This is a guy who could be anywhere he wants to be on the planet. He can afford to be anywhere he wants to be, and he's been all over the planet. He literally rode a bicycle with his two young kids, bicycles with his wife around the world, and for some time he's been in Dubai. If he wanted to live in Dubai like a prince, he could, but he came here. And I've only been here, this is my second time here, and I've only been here for a little while. And I was trying to think of the irony of why someone who could be anywhere on the planet wants to be here, and I think it has to do with the nature. And I was talking to Al Best. What did you say exactly, Al? You said there's a lot less crazy people here?
Oh yeah, the insanity is low.
The insanity is low because of your feeling of being back to nature. Your legacy, the thing you love most, is moose hunting, being outside. How old are you, Al?
73.
And you have a deposit on a brand new snowmobile, don't you, Al?
I do. Yeah.
Here's a guy, 73 years old. What's keeping him going? Give up. He loves being outside. He loves being part of nature. He likes hunting, likes riding snowmobiles. He's got goals for the future, and they don't include dying, do they, Al? Yeah. He's got a brand new 2023 fuel injected 600cc two-stroke snowmobile that probably does 120 miles an hour, and you're going to find out what it feels like to go 120 on it, aren't you?
Quite likely. Yep.
So these people, the Tlinkits that have lived here for literally, we don't really even know how long, thousands and thousands of years, still own this land. This is Tlingit land here. This is not owned by the Canadian government. It's not owned by the U.S. government. This is their land, and it has been for centuries. We are visitors here. So guys, I wanted to talk to you about a few things that kind of inspired me on this little venture up here. Be careful with your time. It's your number one greatest asset. Be careful how you spend it, and how you spend your time is what creates your future. If you spend your time drinking and drugging and sitting on the couch, well, you're probably going to end up sick and fat and die young with medical problems. So that's just one way of putting it. But if you spend your time creating goals, like coming to awesome places like this, or being like Al, looking forward to getting his new snowmobile, setting goals for your future and using your time plus goals equals the future. So use your time wisely, set your goals high, and focus on positive things for the future. Humans, we are basically deletion creatures. What I mean by that, on the negative side, is we delete all the things that we could possibly do to have great things happen in our life, because we want pleasure, we want to avoid pain. And sometimes we have to work hard, and that can be perceived as pain, or we have to sacrifice by delaying our gratitude and not eating that pizza and getting fatter, and going to the gym, which could be considered pain, doing things to stay in shape so we can have a great future, and saving our money, which could be painful when you want to blow it all on stuff you think you need. Set big goals. And because we're deletion creatures, the other side of it is we're also creation creatures. We can create literally anything we set our minds on. We can if you want to be a billionaire like Andre and ride your bicycle around the world, if you've made good decisions early on in life, and it didn't come easy to him. Wasn't born with a silver spoon. This guy had a job Andre had a job as a diver, pulling mines off of ships in a war zone. I think was it in Israel? Where was that?
That's my understanding. But
somewhere.
You know what? I don't know. I talked to Andre before I published anything.
Okay. So anyways, we don't know who his last name is. You guys, it could be Andre Smith or whoever. You guys will never know who he is. And I'm not going to say his last name. But anyways, he actually pulled mines off of ships, in that particular career had an average lifespan of a year. He did it for 2 years, made a bunch of money, and invested his money wisely. So he took risk. There's got to be risk. Like me coming up here to buy this truck and driving on 5,000 miles. I don't know if I'm going to make it. I could have a blowout in the tire. I could get stuck up here and eaten by a grizzly bear, or stuck on the side of the road, or have to fight to my death with the mosquitoes. But
You'd like that, though.
yeah, I wouldn't give up without a fight. Anybody knows me knows that's true. But the point is that to strive and thrive, to do better. Set your goals high, and because we are deletion creatures, and we only use 20% of our mental and physical capacity, if you set your goals high and you use your time wisely, then you become a creation creature and create these great things that you want in your life. Like me getting my CDL Class A at 56 years old. A lot of guys think they're too old, or they won't pass the medical, or they don't want to do the drug test or whatever. It's something I wanted to do. We're here talking to Billy Ainsworth about and Jeff Konecki at KTM. And I told Roger DeCoster yesterday that I'm going to start a race team. So now I got to do it. Well, I don't know how long it'll take. It might take me longer than we think. It might happen right away. But the universe the phenomenon of the universe helping us achieve our goals may not be as much the universe as us tapping into that other 80% of the mental capacity we have to create great things. So guys, let's do a little math here. Your time is the most valuable asset you have, okay? Let's assume that you're worth $25 an hour. That's $50,000 a year. Let's round it up to 50, so it'll be a little bit $50 an hour. That's a reasonable amount for people to make today, right? So that's $100,000 a year. If you, at 20 years old, spend even 1 hour wisely, it pays dividends down the road. 1 hour spent dope dealing and gang banging, or whatever it is, the kids' negative shit they do, of drinking or drugging, or just sitting on the couch watching a stupid movie that doesn't make any sense. That time wasted, if you invested in your future, that hour has almost a compound interest on your future. So use your time wisely, and if you put a dollar value on it, if you spend even 1 year doing super productive stuff like Andre did, diving in almost in a life-threatening career, that $100,000 was a stepping stone. And I'm not sure that's how many made, but that money you could make if you bust your ass round the clock and you use that money, you can be the stepping stone to the next great thing to get you where your ultimate goals are. So whatever it is for you, it may not be. To me, I was having a long conversation with Al here, sitting inside the Tlingit Heritage Center here, looking at the fact that this place, guys, 120 years ago, there was no freaking electricity, okay? There was no automobiles, none. The first automobile that came here was a 1926 Ford that we saw in the museum this morning. This is virgin Earth. The Earth has become much smaller. We put a man on the moon. Automobiles, the telephone didn't even exist. There was no electricity just 120 years ago. And now look at it. It's the Earth has gotten much smaller. But your goals may be to come up here and be a moose hunter like Al, or be a snowmobiler. It's not about money, because no heap of material things is going to make you happy. It's about chasing your dreams. So chase your dreams, grab a piece of paper, write down your goals for this year, and make it happen. If no one's told you yet today, I love you all, and God bless America.